Hello, welcome everyone. We are today at the Odoo Experience 2019. I am currently with Isham, business partner at frePPLe. It would be interesting today to discuss a little bit with you what frePPLe is, which are the main activities, and of course a little bit of history of the company.
Okay, thank you, Stefano. So frePPLe was born in 2014 in Zaventem in the suburbs of Brussels. It's a Belgian company. It was actually started by Johan de Taille, who was at this time consultant for a supply chain company, and in his spare time he actually developed an open source software called frePPLe.
Okay.
And he really did that during his spare time, and there was a lot of response from the market. The market was very happy about this, and there was a lot of expectations around this.
Okay.
So it's actually advanced, and it's an APS software. It's an advanced planning and scheduling, so mostly used to compute production plans in factory.
All right.
And at some point he saw that there was a lot of as I was saying, expectation around this, so he decided to stop his work, his daily work, his consulting work, to focus only on frePPLe, and this is how the company started in 2014. Then I joined a little bit later in 2016, and now it's a 5 years old company.
That's nice. That's nice. It's great to hear so. So I understand there's a lot of demand. Indeed, also as a business advisor in Odoo, we often have this type of questions. So customers searching for this type of solutions. Specifically, would you explain us a little bit more? How do you organize, let's say, your core businesses, or let's say the models that we can find in frePPLe? So in terms of planning and scheduling.
Yes. So we have three different modules.
Okay.
One of them is forecasting.
Okay.
So forecasting is really looking at the demand history and doing some statistical textbook forecast methods, applying these methods on the demand history to compute the forecast.
Nice.
So you would have typical textbook method like constant, intermittent, moving average, trend, seasonal, these kind of things. And frePPLe would automatically detect the method that matches the best your demand history, and we apply this method. So you don't have anything to do. It's really done automatically in the background. And the forecast that is computed then is used in the second module. The second module is inventory planning.
All right.
And inventory planning is going to compute safety stocks all along your supply chain.
Okay.
So it could be for a finished product, it could be for an intermediate product, or it could be for raw material.
Right.
frePPLe is going to suggest safety stocks based on what we call business rules. So obviously the planner has to give some information to frePPLe. It could be what we call days of cover. So you always want to have 14 days, for instance, of days of cover as safety stock for a given item at location. Then once the safety stock and once the forecast and the safety stock is computed, then frePPLe, we have the third model, which is production planning.
All right.
And production planning is going to compute a production plan in your factory. So the output of the production plan is what we call in frePPLe manufacturing order, and this is what you call also in Odoo manufacturing order or work order, which is what has to be done on which work center, starting when, finishing when, which product should be produced, how many of them, and sometimes which work centers, because we might model more than one work center for a given work order. It could be a tool, for instance, could be seen as a work center. So that's the output of the manufacturing module. And at the other end of the supply chain, we also generate the purchase orders for the suppliers. So the raw material that is needed for this work order to happen. Because when frePPLe computes a start date and an end date for a work order, it's always feasible. The material is here, and the work center is available for this work order to happen.
All right. So we would be really checking to all the parameters that a company needs to know in order to manage, let's say, demand forecasting, production planning, and inventory planning. Okay, that sounds really interesting. In general, I can imagine most of your customers might come from different sectors. Which are the biggest sectors, let's say? Is it manufacturing?
Yes, I would say that 70% of our customers come from manufacturing world. So these
Okay.
are customers that they need a production plan. They have this complexity of computing a production plan, and today they usually do it in Excel. And this is where frePPLe enters into the loop. We usually target this kind of customers that is today planning in Excel and is trying to get to the next level, because Excel at some point is not a solution anymore. It's error prone, and companies want to move to the next step. And this is where we enter into the game. But so 70% I would say of our customers are manufacturing companies, but we also have 30% of our customers which are in the distribution or retail. So these companies are not using the production planning module. They only use forecasting and inventory planning. And typically, I can give the example of a supermarket company in Africa that we have. They have more than 60 supermarkets in the country, and frePPLe is used to forecast all the products of the supermarkets and trigger the POs to the supplier whenever the level of stock is reaching the safety stock.
Safety stock.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So really manufacturing, but also retail industry.
Exactly.
Indeed, that's interesting. Of course, good news that you told me just before when we had a chat is that frePPLe can also be, is also integrated with Odoo. So being an independent platform, we could also use it being an Odoo customer. Let's say, is it correct?
Yes, absolutely. So frePPLe is meant to be connected to an ERP.
Okay.
And we have at frePPLe more or less the same history as Odoo from a model point of view, and also, as I was saying, we come from an open source software, but we also have an enterprise version. And enterprise version has more features as the community edition that we have. But you can absolutely connect frePPLe to Odoo, and you can connect both community and enterprise versions of Odoo.
That's
and
great.
you can use also the community and enterprise version of frePPLe to connect to community and enterprise version of Odoo.
All right.
The connectors or interfaces, call them as you want, between Odoo and frePPLe are open source.
Okay, all right. So that's great to know even for our customers indeed. In enterprise version with Odoo SH or with on-premise installation, they could definitely use frePPLe as a specific tool to manage this planning and these forecastings. In general, which type of modules would an Odoo customer require? Which are the Odoo modules that would be required in order to work?
Yes, so
with frePPLe?
We need the sales app, because we read the sales order. This is the input, what we call transactional data, of frePPLe to plan what has to be planned. These are the sales order from the customer. We need the inventory module. Because inventory module is going to give us the on hand, is going to give us the purchase orders which are on the pipe arriving from the supplier. And for the manufacturing customers, we need the manufacturing module, because we need the routings. We need the modeling of the supply chain. So this is the routing, this is the bill of materials, this is the work centers, and obviously the output of frePPLe is going to be the manufacturing order and work order that will be sent back to Odoo for execution.
That makes sense. So using these standard modules, we would have all these informations embedded. Let's say once managing via frePPLe all this flow, all these plannings and forecastings. Okay, that's great. In general, how's your feeling? I'm curious, how's your feeling about Odoo Experience? How did you enjoy it? The whole event, let's say. I saw you yesterday and today.
Yes, it's very interesting because we have a lot of chat and here and there with different people coming from different countries, working for different type of companies. So it's very interesting for us. We learn a lot from the people that we meet really at the coffee, and also during the presentations, as we can see, because it really helps us understand the problems and the expectations of the audio community, and we learn a lot here, and we were very happy to be here.
Okay, but I'm really glad that you came. It was a pleasure to meet you, to have the possibility of discussing such interesting features, because honestly we have these type of questions more and more often. So indeed, knowing that such a good solution as frePPLe can be integrated with Odoo, with all the business apps that we offer, it is indeed a great possibility. So indeed, I'm feeling you're doing a great job. It was a pleasure to having you here.
Thank
to
you,
interview
Stefano.
me.
Thank you.
And well, I hope you will also enjoy this Thursday and the last day of Odoo Experience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.